Oh, what is the upskis, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GXWrestleCast. We're on episode 126 of my wrestling recap show, where once a week I go through all of the major WWE and AEW shows, give you the recap, give you the review, let you know what's going on storyline-wise, and at the end of the show, I give out my 3 stars of the week, awarding my 3 favorite matches that I witnessed with my eyeballs. And if there's a big major pay-per-view, I will do a separate episode reviewing that pay-per-view, but we're in the clear this week, so let's dive into the regular recap. We got Monday Night Raw in Columbus, Ohio, and we got Pat and Michael. They have a major announcement, and there will be a women's battle royale tonight to crown a new women's champion, because Rhea Ripley had to vacate it. But that's huge. That is very exciting. We're going to have a new champion crowned on this episode. So, goddamn, that's a fun way to kick off the show. And then Jey Uso, he cuts a yeet promo, needs to beat Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. The world champion Damian Priest arrives, and he says that Priest is proud of Jey, but Jey is only fodder for the machine that they are feeding to Damian Priest to make him look good as a champion. Uso responds, Priest only became the leader of Judgment Day because Rhea Ripley got hurt, and tell mommy, bleh, whatever the fuck noise he made right there. That was funny, made Damian giggle, as it made me giggle as well. Good job, Jey. McDonough, he tries to sneak attack. That fails. It's Damian Priest. He ends up eating a Uso super kick and a solid start to the show. Uso warming up the crowd. The noise he made was fucking weird and pretty hilarious. Some solid trash talking there. Their rivalry is okay so far. Not bad. We have the World Tag Team Championship match. It is Awesome Truth, The Miz, and R-Truth defending against DIY, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa. Truth with the Cena hot tag, that is stopped by a wicked super kick. DIY meet in the middle on Truth. Ciampa not paying attention allows Miz to make the last second save. Damn it, Ciampa, pay attention. Truth crushing finale. Awesome Truth retain. Really solid first defense for the champions. Crowd loves everything R-Truth is doing, as do I. And DIY brought the stiffness. Nice chemistry as well with the champions. We'll see if they get another rematch, but probably not. We move on. Damian Priest is flipping out on Dom Mysterio, JD McDonough, and Santos Escobar. Tells them all to handle their business. Ote. And then we get the return of Gunther. He is back with Imperium at his side. Gunther thanks Sammy for lifting the weight of the IC title off of his shoulders. Oh, damn. Gunther declares himself for the King of the Ring tournament. Then it'll only be a matter of time before he is champion again. But which title is he going to go after this time? Sounds like he's going for the big one. New Day interrupt Gunther's moment. Xavier is the reigning King of the Ring, which I completely forgot about. He takes offense to Gunther's claims. New Day trash-talking Gunther leads to Gunther ordering Imperium to take out the trash. Great to have Gunther back, though. I believe what he is saying, though. He will have a big impact on this era, this Triple H era. He's going to be a world champion, man. I think it's only a matter of time. I don't even know who else is in the King of the Ring, but Gunther winning the King of the Ring sounds like a slam dunk. It's going to happen. So we'll see where that goes, but yeah, nice to have Gunther back. Now we have Imperium, Kaiser, and Vinci versus the New Day, Kofi and Xavier. Vinci stiff lariat to Kofi. Kingston counters the Doomsday device, hits the elbow drop backbreaker combo, and the New Day win. It was a solid match. Gunther glares at Vinci, leaves ultra pissed off. Kaiser soothes Vinci and then brutally attacks his former friend. Oh no. Management and referee separate Kaiser, but he easily spin moves around Jason Jordan, runs 100 meters, and delivers a drop kick to Vinci's skull into the steel steps. Oh my god. Kaiser walks to the back to a very pleased Gunther. So this is this has been going on for a bit. Vinci kind of the weak link of Imperium. And I wonder what's going to happen with him. I'm hoping Vinci, if they're not going to do like a rivalry, which leads to Vinci getting, I don't know where that would go, but I think Vinci back down in NXT, that dude can wrestle really good, and I think he would be an excellent guy that you can put in the ring with any of the young superstars down there, and he's going to make him look outstanding. But we'll see where that goes for Vinci. I'm a fan of him. He just really doesn't get a lot of attention in Imperium. It's mostly Kaiser, but yeah, we'll see where that goes. Now we get Drew McIntyre. He cuts a cross-legged promo, puts Columbus in their place for doing the what chants, and then vents about all the baloney he has gone through for the last few months. McIntyre gets interrupted by Sheamus, who's already looking like he dropped like 15 pounds over the last week, looking good. Sheamus says, "What's wrong? You got, you got all the moments that you wanted at WrestleMania, won the championship, and then he blew it over a social media spat and got his ass kicked by a one-armed CM Punk. Damn." Drew is like, "Oh, okay, we doing this?" And Drew goes right after Sheamus's recent weight gain, which makes Sheamus straight up laugh his ass off. That was hilarious. Thumbs up. He's like, burger after burger after burger. Like, come on now. Drew says he's the only real friend Sheamus has. Drew will watch his back for the match later tonight. Great promo right here from Drew, and a good moment here between close friends. I'm always down for a Sheamus-Drew McIntyre rivalry, a friendship, whichever. I love these two. Thumbs up. Now we get Sheamus versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke putting a whooping down on Sheamus with a bunch of striking. Sheamus nails the kneecap. Shinsuke leaps off of the barricade, delivers a Kinshasa to the back of Sheamus's head. Shinsuke Kinshasa stopped by a broad kick out of nowhere, and Sheamus grabs the W. Good competitive match. Shinsuke hard striking. That was nice. Some nice counters as well. Sheamus slow start, but he ramped up for a nice comeback victory. Looking good. 7 out of 10. We have Sami Zayn, Intercontinental Champion. He is greeted by Bronson Reed, who tells the champion he has bigger problems on his hands. Sami says, "You want a little?" Bronson leaves and then returns for a sneaky attack. Oh dear. We have Chad Gable with the Alpha Academy. He cuts a heel promo. Chad angry that he wasn't having the big WrestleMania moment, celebrating with his family, winning the championship, all that great stuff. No, it was Sami Zayn who got it. Gable flips on each member of Alpha Academy, chirping them each into oblivion. Gable then demands Alpha Academy they will help Chad get his Intercontinental Championship, forces Otis to say the words. Damn, really, and Otis says the words. Really good heel promo right here from Chad. Thumbs up for that. And could they potentially build Otis back up? Like, remember this guy won the Money in the Bank a few years ago. Could they build him back up to that level? Maybe with this Gable being an asshole. Let that build, let that bubble over, and then Gable gets a mutiny down the line. You have Otis attack, and maybe he becomes a big star again. We'll see where that goes, but so far, really liking this Chad Gable heel turn. We had Nia Jax backstage plotting to win the Women's Battle Royale. She's going to be probably the biggest woman in there besides Piper, so she's got some good chances. Now we move on. It is what the hell kind of match is this? A tag team match, player. Ricochet and Andrade versus Santos Escobar and JD McDonough with Dom Mysterio. Santos helps McDonough from the Three Amigos and then nails Ricochet with a nice anti-knee to Ricochet. Assisted Rana leg drop by Ricochet. The Shadow by Andrade pins and wins. Priest immediately jumps Andrade and Ricochet, doing the work himself. Tells Dom and the rest, "I don't need you." Oh shit. Good competitive tag match. Santos and JD McDonough working well together. Good selling from both squads. 7 out of 10. And now the question is, could Damian Priest ditch Judgment Day and go on his own completely? Maybe replace the members of Judgment Day? Or who knows? There's a lot of things he can do there, but it sounds like he is done with the current members of Judgment Day. We move on. Chaos backstage as Nia Jax is fighting all over the place with everybody. Becky Lynch casually strolls by, grabs the microphone, screaming way too loudly into it, but her heart is in the right place. It's there, firing up the crowd for the Battle Royale, which is right now. Let's go. 14-woman Battle Royale for the vacant Women's World Championship. We get Candice is eliminated first by Maxine, and then Maxine double dips. She takes out Indy Hartwell as well. Damn. Nia eliminates Ivy by slamming her into the ring post. Really nasty looking bump and fall for Ivy right there. Maxine fires up on Nia, almost takes out Jax, but Nia, too powerful, takes out Maxine, but a good run there from Maxine. Becky eliminates Piper. Becky pulled out of the ring by a rather upset Piper. Nia joins in Uranagi's Piper onto Becky, squishing her onto the table, and then struggles up Piper for a Samoan drop, squishing poor Becky's face, and that table just refuses to break. So Jax straight up powerbombs Becky through that damn table. My goodness, that was ridiculous. Thumbs up. Referee doesn't notice Chelsea getting eliminated, so she gets to continue on in the match until Zoe Starks takes her out. We got the final four is Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, Shayna Baszler, and Becky Lynch, who comes back from the dead to Nia's surprise. We get a neat code breaker, neck breaker spot. All the women are down. Liv and Becky combo a leg drop, Oblivion, and Annihilator. Not the Annihilator. Nia is eliminated by the Oblivion. Lynch and Liv are fighting on the apron. Becky survives an Oblivion somehow, manages to hit the manhandle slam. Morgan falls off the apron, and no! Women's World Champion, it is Becky Lynch. Very fun battle royale with some high stakes for sure. Surprising run for Maxine. She was really good. Piper was good. Yeah. Final four had good performances. All four of those women were great. Nia dominating. I feel like they went the safe route going with Becky. I kind of hope that Nia Jax would get her shot as champion. Like, these are the kind of times that a Nia Jax could get a championship. But they went with Becky. I feel like it's a safe bet. You can't go wrong with Becky Lynch. And yeah, a great, entertaining main event match. 8 out of 10. And that's the end of the show. Great show again, H-Man. Keeping up the hot streak after WrestleMania. Huge main event announced. Off of the hop, got me really hyped up. Pretty good segment from Damian Priest and Uso. No offense to Jay, but Damian is kind of right. Not really worried at all about Jay Uso winning the championship from Damian. McIntyre and Sheamus was great stuff. I love those two. Digging Chad Gable's heel run so far. Setting up Bronson Reed versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship sounds great on paper. As I die, Gunther is back looking to move into the world title picture, and wrestling was pretty good throughout with a banger of a main event, crowning a new champion. 8 out of 10 for Monday Night Raw. Now we head over to the land of NXT, and it is spring break night number 1. And we're kicking off this show with a triple threat NXT Women's Championship match. It is Roxanne Perez defending against Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Paxley. Lyra avalanche double powerbomb, my goodness. Roxanne crossface on Lyra. Tatum then runs in and puts a crossface on Roxanne. Rolls into a pinfall, but we get a near fall. Roxanne escapes that, hits a cool combo DDT, Russian leg sweep thing, and Lyra absolutely flagpoles herself with the cell. That was fantastic. Paxley nails a lovely 450 splash on Lyra, but Roxanne rolls Tatum up to retain the NXT Women's Championship. My goodness, that was a awesome world triple threat match thing to kick off the show. Wow, that caught me off guard. I didn't know we were going to kick off with that. Very quick pace all throughout. All three women looking really good. Paxley, a breakout performance. That 450 splash was perfection. Combo offense throughout. Nice counters and near falls. Yeah, 8 out of 10. That was a little banger. Now we get the Creed Bros. They're backstage rooting for Trick Williams to win against Dragunov. So we're going to have a lot of NXT alumni on the show today rooting for Trick Williams. We move on to a 6-man tag team match. It is the family, Tony D'Angelo, Stacks, and Crucifino versus the No Quarter Catch Crew, Dempsey, Bourne, and Kemp. Damon Kemp sent on off of the apron, wipes out the family. That was nice. Shatter Machine out of nowhere by the family. Dawn hits the spine buster to Dempsey, pins, and the family wins. Pretty solid tag match. Stacks taking most of the damage as usual. Good selling from him. And then you have Tony D pinning the Heritage Cup champion. So more than likely we're going to have the Dawn go after the Heritage Cup. I think that's a pretty good spot for Dawn right now. Now, he had the world title shot. I wasn't blown away at his performance in that match. So I don't know if they see the Dawn as a main eventer. But right now I think a really, really good I don't like saying mid-card. It's not a bad thing to be a mid-carder. It's a very important role. But a really quality mid-card, stable, mid-card champion. I could see that really working out nicely for Tony D. We move on. Jada Paca with ODM versus Fallon Henley. Parker slams Henley throat first into the ropes, nails the hip check, and grabs a quick W. Nice performance from Paca, starting to pick up consistent wins on NXT. So she's starting to level up. Maybe she becomes a contender for a championship match at some point. We move on. Contract signing for the NXT Underground match between Natalya. She comes out with Carmen Petrovic, and Lola Vice comes out alone. Natalya and Lola trade some trash talk, and then Lola brings out her training partner. It's Shayna Baszler, who gets a really nice response from the crowd. Natalya is shook. Shayna tells Natty she has no chance, especially if Petrovic is her partner. Petrovic, offense taken, delivers a head kick to Shayna and drops her like Ronda Rousey versus Holly Holmes. Oh, snap. Brawl is on, and yeah, that was a fun NXT segment, or NXT crowd loving the alumni right now with the Creed Bros, and there's so many more to come. We move on. Sean Spears, he's trying to convince Ridge to go crazy or some shit like that. Ridge ignores Sean Spears' temptations, and what are they doing with Ridge, man? I just don't know what they see in this guy. Please stop. Moving on. No offense to Ridge. It's just he's getting put in these, it's just not his role. He would be a great addition to a stable, a big powerhouse member of a stable. He can't really carry himself by himself, and the thing that they're doing with him, I'm going crazy, I'm upset that I keep hurting people, it's just a terrible spot to put Ridge into. It's just not working, and yeah, it's just bad. Anyway, we move on. Men's tag division backstage, they're all hanging out together. The Good Brothers show up, they're being a bunch of douchers, and then I think it's Malik, might be Blade, they drop a mirror, breaking it in half, and oh no, that's 7 years bad luck, bro. My goodness. We move on, it's beach brawl time. Oh, baby, it's Sol Ruca versus Blair Davenport. Blair throws Ruca into a wooden bench, back first. That just looked painful. Ouch. Ruca drowning poor Davenport in the ball pit, and then surfs on Blair, keeping her trapped in the ball pit. That was spectacular. Sol, great transition into a nasty power bomb. Get a near fall there. Ruca pushed off the barricade, smashes into another barricade. How you doing? Ruca backpack slams Davenport off of the barricade through a table. Holy shit. Thumbs up. Nails the best Soul Snatcher I have seen to date, and Sol Ruca wins. Usually she'll do it in the corner, but she did it springboard style, and it was onto the boogie board too. That was some good shit. Breakout match right here for Ruca. She was awesome. Great mix of speed and power. Love her moveset, especially the Soul Snatcher. Amazing. Fun beach-themed brawl with some boogie boards, beach balls, and shit. Davenport selling was fantastic. Both of them taking some mean bumps. Little banger right here. We got Trick Willie backstage. He gets a pep talk from Johnny Gargano. Johnny Wrestling is here. That was great. We move on to Baron Corbin versus Lexis King. Vic is flipping out on Booker T on commentary, sounding like an old married couple. That was fucking hilarious. He's like, quit jumping down my throat, Booker. Vic offers Booker T some candy and all is well. They're okay. Referee catches King with his feet on the ropes. They argue about it. King kicks Corbin in the nuts while the referee can't see, nails the coronation, and Lexis King wins. An okay match. Honestly, I was way more focused on the commentary fight. Oh my goodness, I love when that shit goes down. Just have some candy, Booker. Just have some candy. Great stuff. Moving on, Damian Priest arrives to tell Ilya Dragunov good luck before his match. Ooh, so maybe a little seed planted right here, you know? Maybe Dragunov gets drafted up, maybe sees a little Damian Priest. Who knows? That could be fun. Main event time, baby. We're here. NXT Championship. Ilya Dragunov defending against Trick Williams. And if Trick loses, he leaves NXT. Ilya and Trick embrace before they get into a big ol' hockey fight. Oh my god, I love that. It made me burp. Dragunov running boot and then goes coast to coast on Trick. Damn. Trick fires up, nails a powerbomb, hits Dragunov with an H-bomb and a torpedo Moscow. Gets a near fall right there. Trick delivers a bookend off of the barricade through the announce table. Holy shit, that was awesome. Thumbs up for that. Dragunov pulls over the rope, pulls Trick over the rope is what I'm trying to say, to deliver a superplex and then 2 H-bombs. Absolutely ridiculous. Trick kicks out. Dragunov goes to the top, nails another H-bomb, but Ilya injures his hand, giving Trick just enough time to kick out. Trick knee out of nowhere. Dragunov kicks out of that. Both men then charge at each other. Trick is quicker to the draw, soars to the skies, and nails the knee on the button, pins Dragunov, and new NXT champion. It is Trick Williams. Whoop that Trick indeed, everybody. An amazing moment right here for Trick. From fucking hype man to champion. Congratulations to Trick. Great performance and a great match. Ilya Dragunov, fantastic job as the champion and giving Trick the best matches of his career so far. Ilya pulled Trick into the fight, stiff shots throughout, emotions off the charts, crowd was going nuts. Long-term storytelling pays off huge right here. Cannot wait to see Trick's run as champion. Great match, 8.5 out of 10. Celebration commences for the new champion, and that's the end of the show. Great first night of spring break. Felt like a free mini pay-per-view. I mean, damn, with 2 huge title matches on the card, NXT alumni all over the place, contract signing was pretty good, and finishing with one of the best NXT moments in history. I mean, there's a lot to like on this show. 8.5 out of 10. Go check out NXT. And now we head over to SmackDown in Cincinnati, and the WWE Draft starts tonight on SmackDown. Everyone in the Night 1 draft pool, so they have like a group, a pool, if you will, of superstars to select from for Night 1 and Night 2. Everyone from that pool is eligible from all 3 brands, including NXT, except for champions. No champions can be selected. And apparently Roman Reigns, according to Paul Heyman, is not eligible to be picked, so he doesn't hog the spotlight of being the obvious first overall pick. Oh, okay, Paul, thank you very much. We get into the show. Universal Champion Cody Rhodes, contract signing with his challenger AJ Styles. Styles says he has more confidence than ever, has some respect for Cody and his family, having to prove themselves outside of the WWE. Cody says it's very important to him to keep the title, and it is a must-win for him at Backlash. Styles says Cody's story will end early, and then he leaves. Pretty good segment, pretty wild, honestly, that these two are fighting for the WWE Championship. Tell me that fucking 10 years ago, I'd say you're on some very high-quality drugs, and I would like some. Triple H then arrives, raises Cody's hand, invites Cody over to help Triple H make the first picks of the draft. Let's go. First overall pick goes to SmackDown. They select Bianca Belair. I love that pick. A female. Love that pick. Second overall pick is Jey Uso going to Monday Night Raw. 3rd overall, Carmelo Hayes. He's off to SmackDown. And 4th overall, Seth freaking Rollins going to Raw. So right there, you're getting a little snapshot of potentially the future. And, you know, Carmelo Hayes getting selected over Seth Rollins, that's a big deal. Like that alone, Carmelo can run with that and make that a gimmick. Like, oh, I got selected over Seth Rollins. I'm him. I'm the one. So very interesting selections to say the least. Carmelo Hayes arrives, tells Cody Melo never misses, and then challenges Cody Rhodes to a match. Cody teases the crowd a little bit and then accepts the match for later on tonight. Oh, yeah. We get Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee in a tag team match with the LWO versus Legado, Berto, and Garza. Garza opens the ropes. Dragon falls hard to the floor. That made my wife burst out laughing. I guess she's never seen that one before. That's a good move. Lee nails the Operation Dragon. LWO pick up a quick victory. Santos Escobar comes out, shows some very interesting footage, showing Carlito was in fact the one who attacked Dragon Lee before WrestleMania. Carlito panics. He hits Dragon with a backstabber and then runs away. Carlito, no! That's not cool! What the hell? No, we move on somehow. I mean, okay, it's kind of been brewing there for a little bit there with Carlito. He's definitely been background, like, barely noticeable member of the LWO. Really was expecting a lot more out of Carlito when he returned. He looks amazing. Like, I want to see more of Carlito, and he hasn't really done anything. So hopefully hopefully he doesn't just jump ship and then become background noise in Legado, but I want to see Carlito do some shit, So hopefully this is the door opening for him. We move on for Braun Breaker versus Cedric Alexander. That's a squash match. Breaker breaks Cedric in half immediately with a spear. Quick, entertaining squash match. Poor Cedric Alexander. I mean, come on. That guy, what's his finisher called? Like the back check or something? That move is so fucking awesome. One of the best finishers, and yeah, so I feel a little bit bad for Cedric Alexander. We move on. It's Michelle McCool and Tori Wilson. They arrive to make the next picks. 5th overall pick going to SmackDown is Randy Orton. 6th overall pick, Braun Breaker going to Raw. Oh, fuck yeah, man. I'm excited for Braun Breaker on Raw. We get 7th overall pick, Nia Jax off to SmackDown. And 8th overall pick, Liv Morgan going to Raw. All right. And we got Solo, Sikoa, and Tonga. They arrive. They ask Heyman if they have been drafted yet. Well, Heyman tells them the bad news that they have not been drafted yet because they're loose cannons. Everyone's scared of them. Tonga intimidates Heyman. Kevin Owens to the rescue, starts a brawl with the Bloodline, and yeah, oh my god, we got some carnage. We get the 1st overall pick, Bianca Belair. She is interviewed about her title match versus the Kabuki Warriors at Backlash. Bianca is very hyped up to work with Jade Cargill, her partner, to take out Damage Control. Tag champions arrive. They trash talk with Bianca. Jade backs up Belair. Out comes Kevin Owens and Tonga. They're brawling their way to the ring. Solo and Tonga gang up on Kevin. Security can't do anything about it. So Randy Orton comes out. He can do something. Crowd explodes. Orton charges the ring and takes out the Bloodline. Yeah. I mean, LA Knight wasn't there, but yeah. Anyway, we got some more picks. Now it's the Dudley Boys. Bubba and Devon make the next picks. Bubba Ray is like, I think he's working in the what do you call it? The management role now, which is awesome for him. Maybe Devon is as well. ECW and we want table chants from the crowd. Dudley's put on their glasses. Oh my god, I love these guys. Thumbs up. 9th overall pick, LA Knight. Yeah, he's going to SmackDown. Number 10 overall, Ricochet. He's going to Raw. Really nice to see Ricochet getting picked. 11th overall is the Bloodline, which is Solo Sikoa, Tonga Toa, and Paul Heyman. They're going to SmackDown, or staying on SmackDown. And then 12th overall pick, it is Sheamus. He is going to Raw. And then we move on. It is Bayley. She joins commentary to watch Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi. Nia Jax with a sneak attack to Bayley. Naomi tries to help out. Nia shoves Naomi into the post, and the match is disqualified. Tiffy says, fuck it, I'll join in the fun. Hits the prettiest moonsault on Bayley and Naomi. So, yeah, not much of a match, but I would like to see Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi without the nanigans. That would be good. We get Street Profits, Bobby and B-Fab. They're interviewed about the draft. SmackDown Tag Team Champions Waller and Theory start trash-talking them. Profits tell them, we will see you guys next week. And then we get the Final Testament. They're beating the shit out of people backstage, screaming and yelling, making a big old commotion. And then what's-his-face says the violence will follow to whichever brand they end up on. Honestly, I would kind of like the Final Testament to be on NXT, but probably not. So, but I really like AOP. The rest of the Final Testament, whatever. But yeah, we'll see where they end up. So it is JBL and Teddy Long. Holla holla, playa. They're out to make the next picks. 13th overall, AJ Styles. He's going to SmackDown. 14th overall, Alpha Academy. That's Otis, Tozawa, Chad Gable, and Maxine. They're going to Raw. 15th overall, Andrade is going to SmackDown. And 16th overall, one of the big surprise picks is Kiana James. She is off to Monday Night Raw. Kiana is interviewed at the NXT arena. Kiana looks like she was caught off guard. Kind of seemed like she didn't know she was getting selected right there. HBK comes down to congratulate Kiana, and that is awesome for Kiana. She is extremely talented in the ring, puts on great matches with everybody I've seen her in the ring with, so hopefully, I don't know what they plan for her up top, like she hasn't become the NXT champion yet, but yeah, bringing her up, I think she'll make a great addition to the women's roster. I just hope she doesn't get lost in the mix, but good for Kiana, thumbs up for her. We get Teddy Long announces a tag team match, because of course he does, for Backlash. It's Kevin Owens and Randy Orton versus Solo and Toa. So pretty cool. And now it's main event time. Carmelo Hayes versus Cody Rhodes. Mello, lovely fadeaway DDT. Cody responds with a disaster kick. Nice backflip sell there from Carmelo. Cody cutter. Mello kicks out of that. Mello and Cody both springboard at each other but miss. Kind of looks like they fucked that spot up, but they move right out of it, no problem. Crossroads out of nowhere, and Cody wins. Nice main event spotlight here for Mello. Gave Cody a nice competitive match, great selling, showed off his cool moveset. 7 out of 10. I like this, and keep this kind of stuff up. AEW used to do it very good. They would put up-and-coming guys in the main event spotlight and make them have a banger match. And WWE needs to start doing that more. This is a very encouraging sign that they're going to start doing that. And that's the end of the show. Entertaining show. Draft was a lot of fun. Interesting picks for both brands. Wrestling on the back burner for sure to make room for all the draft selections, which is fine. That's okay. Good main event match, though. Carlito betraying LWO. Pretty cool. I'm pretty interested in that. Bayley gets jumped by Nia. That looks like it's going to be Bayley's first opponent. Nia versus Bayley. That should be some good shit. 7 out of 10 for SmackDown. Now we go over to the other brand. It's AEW. We got Dynamite in Florida, and it's the Elite. They roll into the arena. They are dressed to impress, and behind them is Jack Perry. Jack Perry rolling in with the Elite. Jack gets stopped by security, but the Bucks make sure Perry is all cleared to enter. Orange Cassidy comes to the ring, only to get attacked by Trent Beretta. Trent demands Chuck to come out to the ring. Trent says sorry that he didn't attack Cassidy earlier. Beretta feels that Orange has given nothing back to them, while the best friends always had his back. Chucky tells Trent he's always been a piece of shit. Fake out Trent with a hug, hits Trent with a microphone instead. Chucky challenges Trent to a parking lot brawl. Oh baby, that should be fun. Best friends finally fully imploding. Should be a fucking vicious brawl between former friends. I'm expecting a lot of blood, possibly Sue in the minivan, and yeah, that should be some good stuff. Good segment to open up the show. Moxley cuts a classic Moxley-style promo. Pretty good stuff. We move into the AEW World Championship match. No, wait, it's not a World Championship match. I think it's one of those eliminator matches or whatever they've been doing. It is the World Champion, Swerve Strickland, versus the Ring of Honor Champion, Kyle Fletcher. Swerve hitting on a really nice-looking female in the front row, asking for her number and whatnot. Not bad. Swerve nails a nasty stomp on Kyle on the apron. Swerve hurts his ankle in the process. Fletcher quickly applies an ankle lock, and Kyle eats a stiff upkick to the jaw. That looked awful. Awfully painful. And another brutal stomp to boot. Near fall right there. Swerve, stiff house call, pins, and wins. My goodness. Swerve laying it in real thick on Kyle, who sold all of it fantastically. Looking damn tough, kicking out of those stomps as well, Kyle. Good start for the champion right here. 7 out of 10. We move on. Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo, they get into a shoving match backstage, and they get separated, so some beef building up right there. We move on. It is Mina Shirakawa with Mariah May versus Anna Jay. Anna delivers a kiss and a neck breaker into the ropes on Mina. Oh, snap. Got a cool knee strike off of the top rope by Mina and just drives down Anna hard to the mat. I really like that move. Rolls Anna up with a very neat, glamorous affection pinfall, she calls it, and grabs the W over Anna Jay. Pretty solid match. I have to say, straight up, I am smitten with Mina. She is so friggin' adorable. I love her. Good performance. I dig her offense. It's funny. It's unique. And Anna, very displeased after that loss, attacks Mina and then puts Mariah in the Queen Slayer. Toni Storm arrives to save her protege, and then Serena Deeb is standing there watching or some shit. We move on. Chris Statlander and Hathaway welcome the new TBS champion, Willow Nightingale, to the ring. Willow fired up promo, quickly interrupted by Mercedes Moné, looking fantastic. Mercedes accuses Willow and or Statlander for attacking her in the dark last week. Mercedes very much not over Willow, almost ending her career in Japan. Willow fires back, says she doesn't need any sneak attacks to win. Mercedes slaps the taste out of Willow's mouth and then leaves. Oh, baby, I cannot wait for Willow versus Mercedes. Really good segment right here. Willow is leveling up week after week. Thumbs up for her. We move on. Number 1 contenders. Sudden death gauntlet match for the International Championship. So basically what this is like a Royal Rumble, basically, but scratch the over the top rope. Guys are going to come in to the ring Royal Rumble style, like every few minutes, and first guy to grab a pinfall wins the match. So pretty cool. Penta enters, we start off with Jay White and Dante Martin. Penta enters third a few minutes later. Penta leaps off of Jay to nail Dante with a destroyer. That was very nice. Kyle O'Reilly with a new haircut. He enters fourth. Ospreay enters shortly after that, nails a slick backflip kick. The Murder Hack Monster, he is unleashed next. He goes on a rampage, clocks Ospreay on the jaw, delivers the blackout on Ospreay out of the ring, wiping out everybody. He's going crazy. Thumbs up. Archer chokeslams Jay onto the apron. Lovely selling. Commander comes out next. Archer hits Archer with a Rana through a couple of freaking tables out of nowhere. An insane tornado DDT on Ospreay. Holy shit, Commander's going crazy. Thumbs up. Jay Lethal enters, interrupts Ospreay's hidden blade. Ospreay is scared to use the Tiger Driver now because it almost freaking killed Bryan Danielson, and it almost cost him the match right here. Commander hits an awesome springboard shooting star press, but it's Ospreay nailing Commander with a hidden blade, pins and wins the sudden death gauntlet. Oh man, I must say, really cool match. I hope they use this again in the future for number 1 contenders matches. Really cool concept. Thumbs up for that. Archer was awesome, going on a path of freaking destruction. Ospreay, of course, fantastic as always. Lots of good performances, showing off a pretty damn deep roster of talent. Action kept ramping up as more people entered the match. This was awesome. 8.5 out of 10. We get the new FTW champion. Chris Jericho cuts a learning tree promo on Hook and Taz, bad-mouthing them. Big Bill makes his way to the ring, says he needs the guidance of the learning tree. Bill butters up Jericho, claims Bill is the perfect candidate for Jericho. Jericho says he will consider this. Jericho transitioning out of the Lionheart Chris Jericho, now into the learning tree Chris. Much better role for him. I'm liking it. So far, pretty good segment right there. We get Don Callis. He is flipping out backstage, mostly on Kyle Fletcher. Says Hobbs will win a title tonight and Ospreay will win a title at All In. Ospreay apologizes to Kyle. Jeez, man, Ospreay, just ditch Don Callis. You and Will don't need that fucking little needle dick. But anyway, we move on now. It is main event time. IWGP World Championship on the line. Jon Moxley defending against Powerhouse Hobbs. The fight goes to the outside quickly and out into the crowd using the New Japan 20 count to its full use. Hobbs is whooping Moxley's ass. He even says so. He's like, I'm whooping his ass. Moxley whoops ass back, applies the chokehold to Hobbs, who passes out. Moxley retains. Solid match, a little bit one note, and honestly kind of clashing with styles. You got a power brawler versus a brawler. They were hitting each other really hard, that's for sure, but yeah, it wasn't what I was looking for, really. Takeshita appears on the stage, stares down with Moxley. Now, Takeshita versus Moxley, yes please. Now, that is what I'm looking for. No offense, Powerhouse, but he just didn't clash good with Moxley. It just wasn't a good fit. I thought his performance was good. It just wasn't there. And yeah, Shibata is backstage. He is using his phone translator, challenges Jericho for the FTW title under FTW rules for calling him dead weight. And again, I love Shibata using this phone translator thing. It's hilarious. Thumbs up. And here he comes. Jack Perry comes out to the ring, calls Tony Khan out to the ring as well. Perry says he only wants what's best for AEW, shakes hands with Tony Khan, who is over the moon with happiness. Oh, Tony Khan's so happy. He has no clue what's coming. And then it happens. Perry bonks Tony in the tummy with the microphone, and Tony is down. EVPs arrive to aid Khan by delivering a Tony Khan driver to the boss. Tony Khan is dead. The Elite and Perry leave very proud of their work, and I love it. I love it. If they are doing what I'm hoping they're doing, the Elite now having control of AEW, will this help out with the weak development of their talent lately and the really poor booking? I hope so. I hope Tony Khan has admitted defeat. He's like, all right, I'm not the guy for this. Beat the shit out of me and take over. And I hope that's what they're doing. If it is, quadruple thumbs up. I love this. One of the better and encouraging Dynamites in a hot minute. And wasn't just the wrestling that shined through. Best Friends fallout continues. Really liking that. Trent doing good as a heel. I'm excited for Willow versus Mercedes Moné. Jericho having a bounce back week, transitioning gimmicks yet again, but I like this learning tree thing, not bad. And I love what I'm seeing from the Elite. They're taking over the show. They attack Tony Khan. Oh, fuck yeah. And the wrestling, pretty good as well. The sudden death match contender thing, that was awesome. Great Dynamite. And now we're going to Rampage because I said so, and I really wanted to watch the parking lot brawl, which kicked off Rampage. It is Chuck Taylor versus Trent Beretta, former best friends, now frenemies, or just straight up enemies. I don't think they like each other at all, especially after this one. Let's get into it. Chucky T is backplexed onto the hood of a car. That's just the beginning. Then he is busted open with a trash can lid. He's bleeding pretty badly. Chuck is pushed off of a truck. He crashes through a sheet of drywall. And then Chucky T hurls a TV at Trent's head. My goodness. Smashes Trent with some drywall, getting some revenge. Chucky smashed onto the light tubes. Now both men are bleeding a lot. Trent is powerbombed onto the windshield, just like the video game. I love that. And it also looked hella painful. Probably was. Trent tries to huck Chucky, but it's a sneak attack. It's a low blow. Chuck is pile driven onto the top of the car. My God. Locks in the triangle choke, and Chuck is out cold. Trent Beretta wins. My goodness. I mean, like I said earlier, it was kind of reminded me just like the SmackDown vs. Raw parking lot brawl that I played a zillion times when I was a kid, but a lot more blood. Oh my goodness. Extremely violent match with, no shortage of blood, that's for sure. Nasty bump, just so many nasty bumps. And there's no cushion out there, man. They are fighting on concrete, and the lighter thing they're falling onto are cars and I guess drywall, but just nasty bumps all around. Glass, light tubes, blood, yuck. But an awesome parking lot brawl. We don't get a lot of these, and I thought it was dope. 8.5 out of 10. Now we move on somehow. We get Thunder Rosa versus Deonna Purrazzo up next. Deonna catches Thunder off of the top into a super high angle Boston Crab. That just looked nasty. Rosa, mean double stomp, gets back into the fight, but Purrazzo catches Rosa into another submission, this time a brutal looking armbar. Rosa counters into a chokehold. We get a back and forth roll up counter. Deonna back into the armbar. Rosa, another roll-up counter, snags the victory. Rosa with the W. The brawl continues after the bell out into the crowd. Rosa and Deonna trading shots. Security finally separates those two, and my goodness, that was a really impressive match right there. A little bit slow at the beginning, but they got into it. Deonna's submissions were looking really awesome. Just like, if you got put into those submissions, that would legitimately hurt. They looked very painful. Technical wrestling from both women was really high quality. The counters and just, good chemistry here. Pretty brutal. I would like to see these two go after each other some more. And Thunder Rosa coming back into the women's division really has lit a spark in that division. The matches are more aggressive, a little bit more stiff, especially when Thunder is in there. So I'm digging it. 7.5 out of 10. We get international champion Roddy Strong. He has a quick promo. Says he will smash Will Ospreay and defend his championship. We'll see about that. We get Trevor Blackwell, enhancement talent, versus Big Bill. Have mercy on your soul, Trevor. Bill is looking to impress Jericho, destroying an enhancement talent. I mean, wouldn't impress me all that much, but anyway, here we go. Bill hits a huge one-arm chokeslam after a bunch of other big moves, and Bill just not pinning him. He keeps going for the pin, then picking the poor kid back up for some more punishment. He grabs the W. Jericho is watching backstage. He appears to like what he sees. I mean, Big Bill is big, he's big, and he will kick the shit out of you. So, how can you not accept him under the learning tree? Bill wants it so bad, so bring him in. But is it a trap? I mean, does Bill look like the kind of guy that really needs to learn much more? I mean, yes, but still. Anyway, moving on, main event time. Tag team match. Katsuyori Shibata and Danny Garcia versus Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty. Garcia nailing the trifecta spinning neck breakers on Moriarty. Nasty DDT to the floor by Taylor. Garcia just getting planted on the floor while the referee isn't looking. Thankfully, Garcia's neck is not broken. Danny does get isolated, though, for a very long time. Shibata finally gets in there, starts beating the shit out of Shane, while Garcia dances. We get a double suplex to Shane Taylor. That does 0 damage. Taylor gets right back up and then hits a double suplex on Garcia and Shibata all by himself. I had a good little giggle by that. Garcia gets Shane up for a suplex by himself. We get the penalty kick to Moriarty by Shibata, and Shibata grab the victory. Pretty solid main event. Fairly entertaining odd couple, I think, here in Shibata and Danny. Danny trying to do the cross-legged thing with Shibata. Shibata, being Shibata, very stoic and tough. Shane with the heavy hands, Moriarty, pretty nice performance out of him. Trying to go shot for shot with Shibata was pretty funny, did not go well. Garcia dances for the crowd to send everybody home happy. Pretty good Rampage. The parking lot brawl should have been the main event. Absolute war. That would have been, great way to end the show. Kind of goes downhill from there. Like, nothing was going to top that brawl. But overall, the wrestling was good. Thunder Rosa versus Perazo, that was a really good match. Even that, I feel like, would have been a better main event match. Just tag team matches, if it's not, I don't know, they just don't really hit for me as main events. They feel a little bit lazy. Now, that might just be because I grew up in the Ruthless Aggression era on SmackDown with Teddy Long as the GM, and there was a lot of tag team matches in that time. If it's probably pretty well known, but yeah, so I'm just not always very into tag team matches, but a good Rampage overall. Even the squash match, I'll give a pass because it had something to do with the Learning Tree storyline, so that's okay, and it was a hell of a squash. He beat the shit out of that kid, so 7 out of 10 for Rampage. And we finish it off with Collision. We got the new AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland with Nana. They cut a promo. Swerve addresses the Elite and Jack Perry attacking Tony Khan this week, says that was a bitch move. Swerve apologizes to his family for missing important events, but hopefully being the champion will make it all worth it. Swerve gets cut off by Claudio Castagnoli, who tells Swerve the title will be his, then leaves. Short message from Claudio, probably the right move, and yeah, a good first promo there for the champion, Swerve Strickland. We move on. Tony Schiavone gives a Tony Khan update. Tony is not well enough to travel, but will still help run AEW from Florida. Yeah, that's a nice place to have a little vacation now, isn't it, Tony? All right, I see you. We move on. Trios tag team match. Bullet Club Gold, Austin and Colton Gunn, and Jay White versus Top Flight, Dante and Darius Matten, and Action Andretti. Bullet Club bullying Darius, keeping him isolated. Andretti hot tag hits a wicked combo. Nice trios combo from Top Flight. We get a near fall. Andretti, awesome backflip counter out of White's suplex, but gets caught with Jay's Blade Runner. Bullet Club win. Top Flight, very good performance, blazing fast, high speed, once Bullet Club let them do that, of course. Nice tag team offense from both teams, 7 out of 10. We move on. It is Rey Fenix. He is finally back. Oh, baby, that is a huge return, and he is going up against the Beast Mordos. I have seen this guy in numerous different companies now. He is awesome. Let's get into it. Mordos with a corkscrew dive to the outside, takes out Phoenix and sticks the landing. I must say, Mordos is a big guy. He's not like Bronson Reed big, but he's pretty big, and he, doing these luchador moves with ease. So, thumbs up. Mordos, he turns Rey inside out with a lariat, then a few good old-fashioned bitch slaps to the face. How you doing? Mordos ripping at Rey's mask with the ultimate disrespect. How could you? This fires up Rey. He hits a springboard tornado to the outside, nails Mordos with that, and then Mordos with an awesome lung blower and some other really cool looking fucking slam. I have no idea what that was, but it was awesome. Phoenix with the super kick party, runs the ropes, hits a penalty kick, then a frog splash. Mordos kicks out of that. Rey counters into a roll-up and steals the victory in his return. My goodness. Rey Fenix not missing a beat. He had his selling shoes on big time. Just an insane selling performance. Great resilient effort as well. And Mordos, my goodness. Amazing athlete right there for his size. Flipping and flying around, just ridiculous. Great power and a really unique offensive moveset. Great return match here for Phoenix. Awesome chemistry with the familiar foe. In Mordos, 8 out of 10. That was a banger. We got Orange Cassidy. He's interviewed about former best friends Trent and Chuck having a parking lot brawl later. Orange is not happy about it. No doubt, no doubt. And later, Chuck tells Orange, don't get involved. He needs to do this alone. And now we have another return. It's Roosh. He's back, and he's going up against Martin Stone. Roosh, as is tradition, finds the extension cord, uses that for some damage on Stone while the referee is not looking, and then hits the nasty-looking double drop kick in the face in the corner. My goodness. And Roosh grabs a tune-up victory right here, basically a squash. But welcome back, Roosh. Roosh is not finished, though. He goes back, delivers yet another nasty drop kick to Stone right in the face. My God, just stop. He's already dead. We move on. Serena Deeb, she is looking to climb back to the top of the women's division. You better watch yourself, Toni Storm. She's coming. Speaking of Toni, she has a match. Toni Storm with Luther and Mariah versus Anna Jay. Toni thrusting her ass into Jay's face. How you doing? We get a lovely gory bomb from Anna. She is so good at that move. Toni responds with a spine buster. Anna locks in the Queenslayer on Toni, but Toni escapes. Hip attack, Storm Zero, Timeless Toni wins. Pretty solid, entertaining match. We move on. It's a tag team match with the debuting grizzled young veterans, Gibson and Drake, versus the Acclaimed, Bowens and Caster with Daddy Ass. And I don't remember the Acclaimed losing the Trios Tag Team Championships. That's just gone from my memory. I can't remember that match or that going down. But that happened. Anyway, Drake leaps off of Gibson's back over the ropes, taking out Bowens. That was key. Acclaimed hot tag, nail the scissor meet timbers, and a big assisted sit-out powerbomb on Drake. Get a near fall. Gibson corner lung blower. Drake goes coast to coast on Bowens. That was a badass little combo move right there. Thumbs up. The Vets badmouth Daddy Ass. They're losing focus. Acclaimed hit the mic drop for the W. Solid debut here for the grizzled young Vets. Kind of disappointed they didn't get the victory. I mean, the Acclaimed are popular, but I feel like grizzled young Vets should get the victory over the Acclaimed. But really good tag team performance from them. Acclaim working really well with the Vets. Both have some awesome tag team moves. Yeah, I like this match. 7 out of 10. We got Shibata using the phone translator, says he will take on Shane Taylor Promotions all by himself. Danny Garcia says, nah. He offers to help, and Shibata's phone says, okay. Main event time, AEW. World Championship on the line. Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana defending against Claudio Castagnoli. Claudio military press throws Swerve into a concrete wall. That was, my goodness, that was nasty. Swerve crazy backflip dive off of the same concrete wall onto Claudio. That was key. 450 splash and a double stomp from Swerve. Claudio kicks out of both of those. Claudio avoids the house call, catches Swerve into the big swing, into the sharpshooter, into the crossface, into the elbow strikes, and a wicked lariat turning Swerve inside out. Another near fall. Claudio catches Swerve. Swerve stomp with his freaking shoulders somehow. Nails a European uppercut. I mean, that was a very cool little sequence. Thumbs up for that. Swerve thrown into the air, counters into a stomp, the house call, and Swerve retains. Wow. So first off, shout out to Swerve and Claudio's insane gas tank. Barely a drop of sweat on either of those guys after like a 4-hour match, it felt like. My goodness. The referee was just pouring sweat. That guy was dying. He's like, will you guys please fucking go home. Let's end this thing. With that being said, though, my goodness, just because you can go 30 plus minutes doesn't mean you have to go 30 plus minutes every single match. To me, Claudio doing this all the time, Swerve doing this all the time really hurts their offense. It looks like they're just shooting paper balls out there with their offense, needing to hit like 4 to 5 finishers to get a victory. Like, I don't know, like every once in a while, absolutely fine with a big epic war, but lately, this is just Claudio's bread and butter. He just wants to show off the gas tank, and I mean, it's an amazing performance from both guys, absolutely. Just way too freaking long. Way too long for me. Took away from the enjoyment for me, honestly, but still a really good match. 7.5 at 10. And a good first retention there for Swerve. But yeah, just too freaking much. Solid Collision. Overall, wrestling was really good, but just too much crammed in on the card yet again. Still having, and somehow, like, with all those matches they had on this card, they still had like an hour left over for Swerve and Claudio, and they took that whole fucking timeline. Storyline progression basically non-existent on this episode. Only a minor medical update on Tony Khan. Some blink and you miss it segments and promos. A good show for returns, at least. I mean, Roosh and Rey Fenix were out there. But again, this show struggles with pacing. It just felt like wrestling. Just a lot of wrestling. And wrestling's great. We love wrestling. But on a week-to-week basis, like, it wears down. It's just too much. We need some stuff to break up the wrestling. And Claudio, for God's sakes, just have a normal 10-minute match, okay? You don't need to do 30 freaking finishers and my goodness. But 6 out of 10 for Collision, and we'll finish it off with the 3 stars. A loaded up 3 stars this week because we had Dynasty in there. So we'll do some shout outs first. I want to shout out the 14 Women Battle Royale on Monday Night Raw to crown a new Women's World Champion. I mean, super high stakes and just a really fun, entertaining match. A mini Royal Rumble. Can never go wrong with that, so check that one out. Check out Trent versus Chucky T in the parking lot brawl. That was on Rampage, the opening match. That should have main evented something. That was a spectacular brawl. Lots of blood. Tons of horrifying bumps. I mean, you're fighting on concrete and slamming into cars. So, yeah, that was a brutal war. And my final shout out, the sudden death gauntlet match on Dynamite to crown the number 1 contender. Love that style of match for number 1 contenders. Hopefully they continue with that because it was a ton of fun. Basically a Royal Rumble, but scratch the over the rope thing and just make it pinfall. First pinfall wins. It was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it, but didn't make it into the 3rd star. Now we get to the 3 stars. 3rd star goes to FTR versus the Young Bucks in the ladder match at Dynasty. Oh, baby. Always been a sucker for ladder matches, and this was a very awesome ladder match between 2 very, very familiar teams. I must say, I've seen these 2 teams fight probably a dozen or more times now, but they continue to somehow keep it fresh. It doesn't get boring. They may do some of the same stuff here and there, but like, really top-notch ladder match right there. Good enough for the 3rd star. 2nd star goes to Trick Williams versus Ilya Dragunov championship match on NXT. My goodness. I mean, what can you say about that one? They brought all the alumni out, all the old NXT superstars. They came out to watch this match. It was a huge deal. Massive storyline implications. The rise of Trick Williams from hype man to main eventer. I mean, an amazing story and an amazing moment and match there for NXT this week. Don't miss that one. And the 1st star goes to, it's Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson at Dynasty. One of the matches, probably going to be match of the year contender for sure. Best match that I've seen so far this year, without a doubt. An instant classic, a dream match that lived up to the hype. These 2 went all out. Just some of the best wrestling you will ever see in the ring, with Will Ospreay, one of the best wrestlers in the world, up and coming young star today, and then Bryan Danielson, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, just putting on an absolute instant classic. An incredible match. Don't miss that one. Dynasty was some good shit. And that is the show, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Let me know what you thought of the shows this week, if you're able to watch them all, or if you're using this recap to keep up with all the insane amount of wrestling. I am struggling to keep up with all the wrestling right now, but boy howdy, we're in a good place right now with wrestling, particularly with the WWE and AEW right now, with a couple of these budding storylines really has me encouraged that AEW is about to flip the page and get out of this little rut that they were in and get back to thriving with a lot of superstars coming out of nowhere, and just, hopefully AEW can get back on track. But again, thank you everybody so much for listening. Make sure you're reviewing the podcast, telling everybody about it, sharing it, all that good stuff. I upload all these episodes to the YouTube channel, Gamer GX Videos. The links are in the description. Great place to drop a comment on the YouTube channel. Ask a question. I'd love to answer a question about video games, wrestling, hockey, whatever. Doesn't really matter. Send in a question. I'd love to answer it live on the podcast, shout you out. All that great stuff. Be a ton of fun. And there's an email address there as well. If you want to have a private conversation, no problem. That's there as well. And there is a Twitter page where I put up announcements as soon as I know what the heck I am going to be doing with myself this week. And speaking of that, what the heck is going to go on this week with the GX Plus cast? Well, of course, we got the hockey cast. Playoffs are on and going. Probably going to have a therapy session in terms of Leaf talk this week on the hockey cast. It's not going very well for the Leafs, but they have a chance, I guess, to turn it around. But at this point, I highly doubt it. So we'll be talking about the playoffs and the other news that's going on in the NHL. In terms of the GamerCast, I don't have anything planned at this moment. I'm just kind of working on a few other things, and we'll see which episode I pick. But if you have any suggestions, throw them out there. Maybe that will be the episode this week. But at this time, I don't have anything planned. Maybe it'll be a list video, might be a retrospective, but we'll see where it goes. I'll put up something on Twitter once I know what the heck I'm doing. But again, everybody, thank you so much for listening. You're awesome. Follow the links, review and rate and share the podcast, all that great stuff. And we'll be back again with some more GX Plus Cast.